Welcome to the broadcast. This is a source of information on all things related to commercial appliances. Welcome all of you that are new to commercial and those of you well-versed in this industry of ours. Your host is Mike Reed, a technician who has been in the industry for 32 years, with his beginnings working in his family's appliance business based out of the western suburbs of Chicago. Get ready for a truly interactive broadcast. Have all your questions ready and prepare yourself to truly engage with Mike and discuss ideas on all things related to commercial appliances. Without further delay, here is your host. Welcome to the broadcast. This is a source of information on all things related to commercial.
Fair use is a legal doctrine that promotes freedom of expression by permitting the unlicensed use of copyright-protected works in certain circumstances. Section 107 of the Copyright Act provides the statutory framework for determining whether something is a fair use.
Yo, what's up? What's happening? Let me get this sound out here. One second, bear with me. Getting this remote thing going on. How's everybody doing this evening? One second. Still working on it. One second. There we go. There we go. Can you hear me okay? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me okay. Let me go live on my feed. Finishing up the burgers. Okay, good. We'll turn this volume down. See if that'll be a little better. All right, cool. Hope you guys are doing all right on this Monday evening. What I have for you this evening, we could touch on a number of subjects. So I can go over some training, but what I want to go over is the fact that you guys have been asking some questions, and I think I should help you out with finding how to find these things. So let me start with this one. Hoshizaki. If you go to Hoshizaki America, on their site, they have a whole section there that is just dedicated to training. In this section here, and I'll go on, we'll talk about some of the training classes that are coming up, but they have nothing but videos and things on how to clean these in every language, on how to clean the machines. Hold on a second. It's not service bulletins. It is on the training, and it's not training schedule. Well, let me go to library. They've done a little bit of changing up here. Library and videos. And they have all the technical training you could possibly want. Of course, this is with fair use. These are the alarms. I'll be with you in a second.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hoshizaki Technical Training. My name is Lee McElfish. I'm here with Mr. Dave Rivera from Technical Support. Today, we want to help you understand all flaker model audible alarms. Dave, thank you for joining us. Could you give us an explanation on the different flaker alarms and what they mean and how they affect our machine?
Sure. Let's start with the one beep. A one beep is a low water safety. That means that the machine was filling and it took longer than 90 seconds to fill. The things that we're going to check on this is we're going to confirm that the float switch is working. The float switch on this machine is a dual float. It has 3 wires coming off of the top. You have an upper float and a lower float. Your black wires, your common. Your red and blue wires are going to be your upper and lower float. You're going to test each float with continuity 10 times in a row. Up is closed, down is open. If it fails once, it's getting replaced. Now we're going to move over to the water valve. If the water valve is not opening up completely, then we're not going to get the right flow out of that water valve, and we're going to create this problem. If the water valve is not opening and not letting enough water into the machine, we'll be replacing that water valve. There is a strainer on the inlet of the water valve. If the machine doesn't have a water filter, that would be the next step to confirm that the strainer is clean. If the strainer is clean, then we can move over to the water filter and confirm that we have water coming out of the water filters. If the water filters have been there for a while, they could be clogged and need to be replaced.
Oh, cool.
Now on the 2 beep, the 2 beep means that the machine was switched to the drain position for more than 15 minutes.
There we go.
To correct this issue,
And I hope I don't get cited for this. I'll take all your questions while we do it. All right. All of this is on their website. Yo, guys on IG, what's that? All right, so that is where you find the open. And we show you Manitowoc. You just go right to Manitowoc's website. Here they go under training. You have all the videos on how to clean the machines. Here we go. We got a cleaning and sanitizing right here. These are free.
In this online training module, you will learn the Indigo Next ice machine cleaning and sanitation, including removal of parts, cleaning and sanitizing the parts, interactive cleaning sanitizing sequence of operation, and winterization. We'll go through each topic starting with removal of parts. It's recommended that the cleaning sanitizing procedure be performed a minimum of once every 6 months. The end user is responsible for maintaining the ice machine in accordance with the instructions listed in the Installation Use and Care Manual. Indigo Next, removal of parts. To open and remove the front panel on 30-inch and 22-inch wide single evaporator Indigo Next, loosen the screws on the front panel. Open panel 45 degrees and support it with your hand. Depress the top pin to disengage the door. Tilt forward and lift off the bottom pin. Gently flex the water curtain in the center and remove it from the right side. Slide the left pin out. Self-contained air-cooled Indigo Next ice machines come with a top evaporator cover. The purpose is to keep air from blowing from the compressor compartment into the evaporator compartment, thus keeping the ice machine cleaner longer. To remove the top evaporator cover, remove the Phillips head screw and pull it out from the top. To remove the ice thickness probe, compress the hinge pin on the top of the ice thickness probe. Pivot the ITP to disengage one pin, then the other. The ice thickness probe can be cleaned at this point without complete removal. Disconnect the ice thickness probe wiring from the control board. Note: thumb screws for the distribution tube are retained to prevent loss. Loosen thumb screws, but do not pull thumb screws out of distribution tube. Loosen the 2 outer screws, but don't remove the screws completely because they're retained to prevent loss, and then pull forward on the distribution tube to release the slip joint. Disassemble the distribution tube by loosening the 2 middle thumb screws and dividing the distribution tube into 2 pieces. Remove the water trough by depressing tabs on right and left side of the water trough. Allow the front of the water trough to drop as you pull forward to disengage the rear pins. Grasp the pump and pull straight down on the pump assembly until water pump disengages and electrical connector is visible. Disconnect the electrical connector. Remove the water pump assembly from the ice machine. For removal, pull the water level probe straight down to disengage. Lower the water level probe until the wiring connector is visible. Disconnect the wire lead from the water level probe and remove from the ice machine.
And like I said, every manufacturer...
The evaporator top filler panel gains access to the rear of the evaporator and doesn't have to be removed for every cleaning. To remove, lift the top cover and then lift out the evaporator top filler panel. For a review, we've covered the Indigo Next ice machine parts removal to include front door, water.
All right, let me see. Service and support. Or is it in the... Where is it under? They just added this. I know definitely. It's now on YouTube, I believe. Oh, good. I've been harassing them about this and harassing them. Okay. Video library. Okay. Perfect.
Isomatic maintains the easiest cleaning procedures on the market, and they just got easier. with the Isomatic official nickel-safe descaler. With a total clean and descale time of 50 minutes, Isomatic machines get clean 4 times faster than some competitors. Say goodbye to production downtime when you need ice the most. This biannual procedure keeps cleaning simple and only requires a handful of items. The front panel is removed easily with a Phillips head screwdriver. With the front panel removed, hold the power button for 3 seconds to initiate the harvest cycle. With the cycle complete, your machine will turn to off mode. Remove the top cover and splash guard to easily access the curtain and water reservoir. Press the clean button from off mode to begin the clean cycle. Once water begins circulating, pour descaling solution per manufacturer's instructions into the sump. Reinstall the splash guard and top cover to keep splashing at a minimum and conserve chemicals. Descaling takes approximately 25 minutes. Once complete, the Elevation Series machine automatically shuts off, indicated by a solid red and yellow LED. To complete descaling, simply press the Clean button. Now that you've completed the initial descaling process, it's time to finish cleaning your ice maker by sanitizing. Begin in the red off state and simply repeat the steps you've used to descale. This time, you'll add a nickel-safe sanitizing solution to the sump per manufacturer's instruction. When you finish descaling and sanitizing, simply wipe down the surrounding areas with a clean rag. Return to freeze mode by pressing the power button. Isomatic designs every machine with the purest ice in mind. Our ice makers are simple and fast to clean with little to no tools. When you need the absolute best in cleanliness and quality, you need an Isomatic.
Oh yeah, there's more. Oh, excuse me.
Okay, so this is a video to show you how to disassemble this 30-inch Isomatic cuber, the new CIM Elevation Series. We're going to go through how to disassemble it completely and then reassemble it. So the first thing to know is we can back out these 2 screws on the front panel, this screw and this screw. You don't need to remove them all the way, just back them up a little bit. And the panel will just slide up, and you can place the panel right on the top. And that will give you access to the whole freeze zone and the whole food zone of the ice machine. The parts disassemble pretty easy. We're going to take this top panel and just slide it back a little bit like that. This baffle comes out this way. The water curtain itself will just come up. You can see on the side how it sits inside of these grooves. So we can just pull it up, slide it back and out. At that point, we also have the curtain, the water curtain and the curtain switch. This will just pop out on one side like this. You have to open it a little bit, push the tab in like that, and then the other side will just pop out the same way. We have the water distribution tube and the actual tubing itself. These are 2 different pieces, so we can disassemble it from here, pull it right out like that, and then there's a coupling right here that we can disassemble it from here. Just pull it out immediately like that. The water distribution tube itself, it just snaps in right here. You can just pull in one tab like that, pull it out, just like that. And then this thing comes apart. It just unassembles like that into 4 different pieces. Then the water trough is the last thing to come out. This one's a little bit more tricky. So what you want to do is you want to grab the trough itself, pull it back, let the back of the trough fall. It's a good idea to put this tube inside like that. Let the back of the trough fall, push it back, and then just pull it out. Now it's completely disassembled and ready to be cleaned. Now we're going to discuss getting the water pump out and then the water level sensor or the float assembly. Same thing, talk about removing it as well. So with the water pump, what we'll want to do first is come in here, pull the water tube off like this, and then we're going to twist the pump counterclockwise a little ways until it just falls out like this. Once it does, the wiring harness is going to follow it, and you just squeeze those tabs, pull it loose, and then the water pump will come right out like that. So now we're talking about the float assembly or water level assembly, and this actually comes out from the side and the bottom as well.
Yeah, this
has 3 wiring harnesses. So I'll show you on the side. What you'll want to do, here's the top of the float assembly.
It is a.
But let's disconnect the 3 wiring harnesses first. These are 3 separate wiring harnesses that are completely different, so they can only be plugged back in to the right connector. So this one will just pull out like that. You got the second one, which pulls out like that. And then the third one, which will pull out like that. That's disconnected. Now we can just push that tab in like that, and then reach around the front and grab it.
This is the cause of the majority of the calls that you're going to have is for the float assembly.
The last thing to remove is the remaining water line assembly, and that just pulls out like that. Now the machine is completely disassembled from the front. Okay, now we'll discuss on how to disassemble the float assembly and the parts that are inside of it. First, we'll talk about this is the water level gauge or adjustment, and you can see that there's a plus and a minus. So right now it's set all the way to plus, which has the most water in the water trough, and when you push that up, that gives the least amount of water to make a slab of ice in the trough. And that is the adjustment, just like that. So to disassemble it, you have these clips on the side. You just kind of want to push in this side like that. And on the same side, on the other side, the same thing. It comes apart like that. Got a high float and a low float. These floats come out of here. You can see that that's what actually holds it in. So if you twist it, it'll just come right out like that. And then that's your high float assembly. So now we'll talk about removing the low float that actually has the adjustment lever on there. And what you'll need to do is just pry that a little bit to come off. Should just pop right off like that. And then the float assembly itself, push that through from the back. You just push it through like that, slide it off. Now that's your low float. Okay, the only thing that's left is the anti-slush thermistor. That just pulls out like that and just slides up. You set that to the side. And then now the float assembly has completely been disassembled. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to put the float assembly back together. Okay, first we're going to start with this one that holds the slide for the low float. This here, we will slide that in this way until it kind of just snaps back into place right there. Like that. Okay, then we'll put the control back And that goes in there and pops right on that. Move it around, make sure it's working again. Now we'll install the high flow, which again has this. It goes right into the open slot. Slide that in and turn it to where it locks. Set that in place. And now we have the anti-slush thermistor, which goes right into the little collar there. Slides that in. Put that back together. Now we can marry the two. Make sure that's up there. Lock that in place. Okay, now we'll discuss reinstalling the float assembly. First thing you want to do is make sure that the adjustment arm is faced front. We'll take the wires and push the wires through the hole that they came from. Go ahead and grab them, pull them up, and you'll see the white tab there. Just get that lined up.
Hold on, let me stop this real quick.
Pop it right back into place, all three of them.
All right, it is very easy to get the side panels off so you can do exactly what he's doing. There will be one screw on the right-hand side. The top lifts off without any screws whatsoever. So the top is gonna lift off, and then you could just pull the side panel out to your right and then slightly up. The whole thing will come off. Then you will gain access to that side. Hold on a second. Let me take this off real quick. All right. So Adrian says, what do you think about the idea of reducing service by the area, but offering a wider range of services? Yeah, that's what I do. You are not going to be able to provide service to residential adequate. So you can attempt to do residential and commercial. It never works out. And I can explain that to you. Like going real small, 5 miles. Yeah, you can do that. But the commercial and the residential are going to come into conflict with each other. Let me continue this. And then I'll pick up on that when we finish this thing up.
All right. So now we're going to discuss reconnecting the wires from the float assembly. Notice this is a 2-prong connector. We'll go right in there. This is a 3.
All of this information is available from the manufacturer. Do not get this third-party source. You go directly to the factory. They have all the links to it.
That is wired completely together. Now we'll discuss reinstalling the water pump assembly.
Oh, that's always a fun time.
What we'll want to do is connect the wiring connectors first. And as we're installing it, we want to make sure that the smell adapter is in the 1 o'clock position. Let's go ahead and pull the wires first. Just reach in there, grab the wiring harness. We're going to plug that in. Make sure it locks in place. Again, we're going to want that male adapter to be at 1 o'clock. Establish at 1 o'clock, and then we're going to turn it clockwise. And it's going to lock in about that point right there. So again, it's just a twist lock. Once it's in there, you twist it clockwise, and the male adapter will end up about 4 o'clock, and that's how you know it's right. Next will be the water pump tubing. There is a male adapter right behind the float assembly where this will go into. So we'll come up right behind it and just slide it on there. It just slides on. This tubing goes this way, and then the other side of it will go right to the water pump. Install just like that.
If you don't take that water pump, you're going to end up
Exactly like that.
Around the.
Next, we'll install the water trough.
Mounts.
And how we want to do this is these two slots in the back of the water trough. They are made to fit into these slots in the base of the ice machine right here. And that's what holds it in place, right? So as we're putting it in there, I will show you how to install them, but that's the key to holding the trough in place. So the best way to do this is when we come in at an angle like this, twist it to the front. We need to make sure that we're behind this tab on the right and this tab on the left. The easiest way to do this is to take the water pump line, just kind of slide it into the trough like that, and then grab it from the bottom and the back and just kind of push it in an upward angle until it gets past the back. Push the front down and then push it back into those grooves that we just showed you. Then you can pull the water line out again like that. Now we'll put the water distribution tube back together. And what we want to do is we want to start with the bottom. You'll know the bottom is the one with the holes in it. Okay. We want to start that way. Start with the middle piece that has no holes in it and also has a female here and a male here. So this sits in here just like that, kind of locks in place. Now the inner one with the holes in it goes on top of that, spring upward. And then the top piece that has no holes in it goes like that, just like that. So we'll take that and install it into these grooves here, and you'll actually hear it click when it's in place.
If it doesn't click, it's broken. It will
now the water
always
tubing
slide out.
line,
You're gonna have
we'll
to
put the top in like this. We'll save the clamp for the last. Run this over here. And then to install the bottom goes right into this barbed fitting. Mash it in place. Put this back into here. And then lastly, we'll just squeeze that clamp closed. Next will be the water curtain. What we're going to do is install these tabs into these female sockets. And on each side, there's one on each side. So we will slide that into place. The curtain has to be in the upward position like this. Lock that one in. And then those will be popped in, so they're just locked in right there. Next will be the splash guard. So on these grooves on the side, we want to line it up in the middle of this channel and then ultimately slide it back to lock into these grooves here. As so we'll start in the middle. We want to make sure that the water tube is on this side of it. And then as it slides back, slide it down into those grooves. So lastly is the top panel. We want to make sure it's in this position with the trough upward. So this goes up here and just slides right into place. And you'll feel it lock into place on these tabs right here, just like that. Now it is locked in, completely assembled. Okay, now we'll reassemble the panels. All these panels are held in place by these studs, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. So the top panel has to be installed, laying it over the top, pulling it from back to the front, and laying it over the side panels. To reinstall the front panel, trick is this groove on the very top of the front panel has to fit down inside of this groove on the top panel. And it all goes, lay it flat on there, and then just slide it down. And kind of pull the top to make sure that it latched in there a little bit. At the same time, you're sliding it over these screws on the bottom, this screw and this screw. Once you're in there, just give the top a little yank, make sure it's locked in, and then tighten these 2 screws down.
All right, sorry about that. I am back. Yeah, all right. I like isomatic. Isomatic is my favorite. No joke. Um, this is not cleaning, but this is a quick one. This is screw it. I'm not even gonna do that. All right. What did Nightbot had to say? Oh, no new podcast. What's happening? All right. CEO Jakes. Now let me get into, because I'm actually done with grilling and getting everybody fed. Now, the question I received earlier: can you do residential and commercial? And every guy that comes over from commercial has the same maturations. He got the same dreams, desires, and it is not doable, right? So here's the question here. What do you think about the idea of it's supposed to be providing a smaller service area? Wider, all right. Well, whatever. He wants to provide residential and commercial. And the two don't mix. The two are like oil and water. The reason why the two don't mix is commercial, you go whenever the client is open, whether they're open from 8 o'clock in the morning, sometimes earlier to receive deliveries, food deliveries, beverages, so you got that. So they're open from early in the morning to late in the evening. Even if it's a breakfast spot, if it is a breakfast spot, they are still they're going to be open early in the morning, like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, all the way up until like 3, 4 in the afternoon. And the reason why they're up so early is because they're opening up at 5 o'clock. Well, if they're opening up at 5 o'clock, the employees got to come in. The employees have to prep. They have to turn all the equipment on, the full 9. So there's always someone there. And the problem you have with residential is they want you in and out of there at a certain time. Very rarely do you have a clientele that says, oh yeah, well, you can come anytime. I'm always home. Yeah, you have that occasional retired person. You have that occasional person that works from home, but they'll throw a curveball at you. Oh yeah, I'm home all the time, except for, and here it comes. Oh, I got to go to the doctor at 3. Well, I'll be back by 4. I'll be back by 5. Oh, I got to pick up my grandkids at 2 o'clock. So you can come anytime before that. And then if you show up at 1 o'clock, they're over your shoulder like, are you sure you're going to be done? Are you sure you're going to be done by 2 o'clock? I got to pick up my grandkid. So it is always a pain in the ass. And then when you got to order parts, then you got to come back and schedule it all again. Meanwhile, you got a restaurant their walk-in cooler goes down. And they want you there ASAP. Then you have somebody who you have an appointment. They say, oh, you got to get here between 8 a.m. and 11 in the afternoon. But if you got a walk-in that's down, you got to drop that and go to the walk-in, because now you have $10,000 worth of food that can go bad versus somebody who has to order out DoorDash because their fridge isn't working, or their grill, or their ice machine. So you have all that kind of stuff. Let me go with the Series 7. Now, once again, all this stuff is found directly on the manufacturer's website. So this way you don't get it.
Hello,
Crazy.
this is Craig with Follett Technical Service. Today we are going to clean a Follett 15 Series ice and water dispenser. Before we begin, please be sure to use personal protective equipment. Follett recommends protective eyewear and gloves for this. The tools and supplies we'll be using today are as follows. Safe Clean Plus Ice Machine Cleaner, a 1 or 2 gallon bucket, a funnel, a brush or vacuum attachment, a Phillips head screwdriver. First, dispense all the ice out of the unit and discard. Then press and hold the maintenance clean switch until the wrench displays in the user interface to enter the maintenance mode. Unscrew and remove the chrome ice dispense chute. Then remove the drip tray. Unscrew the 2 screws located behind the drip tray. Lift and disengage the front panel. Remove the electrical connection and the waterline connection at the back of the panel. Then set the panel aside. Remove the top cover, then remove the 2 screws securing the right panel and remove the panel.
While it really is a nice unit to clean.
Next, lower the drain tube into the bucket. Remove the plug cap from the end of the drain tube and drain the water into the bucket. After the system has been drained of water, replace the plug cap in the drain tube and secure the tube in its holder.
I'm sorry.
Hot water. If you're working on a 7 series, mix 24 ounces of Safe Clean Plus liquid with 3 gallons of water. Your water should be approximately 120 degrees Fahrenheit.
These are some of the most
Pour
common
Safe Clean
solids.
Plus solution into the bin lid access spout until the solution reaches the spout neck. Allow Safe Clean Plus solution to remain in the unit for 15 minutes. While the machine is cleaning, clean the air-cooled condenser and submerge the ice dispense chute and drip tray in the remainder of the Safe Clean Plus solution for 2 minutes. Rinse clean with potable water. Drain the system by lowering the drain tube into the bucket. When the system is completely drained, secure the drain tube into the holder. Then fill and drain twice with potable water and secure the drain tube. Place a bucket under the dispense chute and remove the cap. Note that some Safe Clean Plus solution will remain and drain out when the cap is removed. Reposition the cap on the bin lid spout. Reinstall the side panel, top panel, front panel, and ice dispense chute and drip tray. Then press and hold the maintenance clean switch to exit the maintenance mode.
Okay. All right. So we went over Pollock, Manitowoc, Scotsman. Oh, no, we didn't do Scotsman. Those are Scotch. But you guys get the idea. So all this information is right there. As you can see, there's nothing strange, nothing special, nothing out of the ordinary when it comes to taking care of these. Like I said, the Manitowoc stuff is right there on their website. Everything you're looking for is right there on their website. All right, so let's see here. And once again, the training is looking kind of crazy this year because of all the natural disasters. All the natural disasters we got. California's starting to have some forest fires. Hawaii had some forest fires. Florida is in shambles. So everything is shuffling around. Let me see. Let's look at the site and let's see what we can. Hold on. Let me go to Baker. Oh, I have pricing. I have pricing on clearance items, grills, fridges, freezers, that type of thing. So if you wanted to see what some of that stuff looks like, what kind of markup you can get on some of these items, let me know in the chat. All right, let me see here. Yeah, Baker. And let me go to events. There we go. So, new refrigeration, or is that new? Yeah, new refrigeration. So the A2L training is out. So be on the lookout for that if you guys are interested. I don't know. All right, so this is Alabama. Teaching you guys about A2Ls. Let me know in the chat, yes, no, about any information on the walk-ins. Yes, no, any information on the beer caves, that type of thing. So I know which direction you guys want to jump into. So let me go back to events and let's see what. So it's Manitowoc tomorrow. Where is this at? So this is, once again, this is Alabama. One Tranquility Base, Huntsville, Alabama. So what is that? The Sea of Tranquility on the moon? I believe that's what that is. So Huntsville, Alabama, where they used to have the launches. So this is, U.S. Space and Rocket Center. So that'd be nice. 8-1, October 22nd. And this is Manitowoc. Sorry, I was talking. Damn. Oh, you don't know what? All right, cool. Let me show you what beer caves are. All right. Shoot. Hold on. Perlick, it is Micromatic training. All right. Well, you essentially have a walk-in schedule maintenance. So you essentially have a walk-in, but it's set up to cool all the beer. And so it's a draft system. They use a power pack, and it's going to use the CO2 to bring the beer out of the beer cave, the walk-in, if you will, to the taps. I'm gonna make sure you can see that. To the taps. So are you hearing me now? Because I kicked myself out my own damn system and came back. Hold on, let me make this bigger. There we go. Sorry about that. So if you want to work on these systems, now there are a lot of craft breweries out there. I take care of a number of my damn self. If you are at all interested, let me see if the price is up here. Yeah, so it's $650 for the class, and they teach you how to clean the lines, how to use direct draw, long draw, and air cool. Plus, you get your troubleshooting. So $650. It's 3 days, I believe. Hands-on. How many days? Yeah, 3 days. So that's not bad for a 3-day training class. Even teach you, I believe, how to put together the units. So if you go to Micromatic's website, so there's a number of them that will teach you, and Micromatic is one. So here's the schedule. It's an alternating schedule with 3 regions of the country. So where are we at now? We're at the end. So we're in October. So October is it's west. So October is west, and that's tomorrow. Ends on the 24th. And where is the west? The west, that's in Northridge. I don't know why the Elgato system wants to come on. All right. So this is for walk-in. Well, it's walk-ins that are dedicated to beer. Oh, let's see here. Beer cleaning, system reopening, system maintenance. Let me show you what a little bit of this looks like.
Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon or good morning to you, depending on where you're located. I want to say thanks for tuning in to another one of the Micromatic Dispense Institute webinars. I hope everybody is safe and well. All the craziness that's going on. We really appreciate your time tuning into this, and we'll try to keep this to around 30 minutes or so you can get around with your day.
Just so you know,
hopefully we'll have time, including questions. If anybody has any at the end, we'll take care.
All of this stuff was done around the pandemic. That's why everybody sounds the same.
Daily, just to help. This really helps out in the long term. If you mitigate some of these things before they get to be bigger problems, it really can help out too. So we'll talk about daily. Every 2 weeks or so. Line cleaning is the biggest thing we can do here, and when we do that, it opens our eyes to a lot of other things that are going on with the system. And again, we can do that. So we can head off other issues as well to do that. So, and then we want to talk about, what needs to be done on a quarterly, 4 times a year.
Yeah, that's commercial.
Temperature. So, meaning what is the temperature of the walk-in? What is the temperature of the keg box? I think you should know what these.
So what you're looking at on the screen up here is their, I won't enlarge anymore. Upper right-hand side, that is glycol, and in their power pack system. Down below, you have your temperature gauge for the beer cave, the walk-in, and the other one, it appears to be another temperature gauge. But the gauge is lower right often breaks. Those suckers go out a lot and need to be replaced because it won't
should be to be able to do that. I'm a big fan, and I'll probably mention a few times, maybe even a cheat sheet we could put on the inside the cooler door or wherever somehow that, hey, this should be at this temperature, this should be here, stuff like that, just so we know, or anybody else in the establishment can possibly look at that and say, hey, with that, keep the critters out of there.
Yeah, because as you guys
Home Depot bucket or whatever you got to make sure we don't spill it. To be able to do that. When we do clean, we generally use warmer water, and we could be using higher pressure because of attic or pot cleaning as well too. So the chemical needs longer to do what it's supposed to do. All the faucets need to be removed. Very, very important. The faucets, you guys, they're the dirtiest part of every draft.
Yeah, they are rarely done.
System. So if we do give them a little love on a daily basis, that goes a long way as well too. But they need to be taken apart, completely taken apart, brush clean as well. Great time to replace any O-rings or water.
These are, see, that's a micromatic. When they go bad, they're off. And nuts. They're
as well. Quarterly, we're going to clean with an acid cleaning solution. That's for a thing called beer stone. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But for sure, keep records of this. We want to.
I never do
as well too. You'll see a lot of mold in beer coolers and stuff. And we want to keep after that. So how we're going to do that is we need to have some equipment, have the proper.
I wish I could blow this up. I can't make this any larger than this. So you're looking at the essentially what it is in the off to the center right. That is your beer cave. That is your walk-in. And then so you see the draft lines up at the top going over to your beer faucet. What runs along with the beer lines are your glycol lines that the glycol is chilled, and then it's circulated along in its own tubing next to the beer lines, and that keeps the beer cold. They want the beer at 32 degrees. Some bars even will call themselves some form of 32 degrees Fahrenheit. And so this is the entire system in a nutshell.
For stuff. So if you're not capable, or excuse me, if you're not willing to do this, there are line cleaning techs, could be beer distributors as well too. But we want to make sure this will just give you a rough outline how we did this. We have done a webinar in the past, or more in depth on the cleaning, and if you're interested in that, we can certainly send you.
So what he's saying is, all right, here's the deal. Let me make sure I can get the right one. So what happens if someone is making their own beer? Like I have clients, they make their own beer, they bottle their own beer, and this cleaning has to be done on a regular schedule. As you saw there, it has to be done like every 14 days. So oftentimes they might go in between guys, and may need that done, or they might just decide to just have you take over their process just due to turnover. You're not going to have this type of thing on a regular with like Olive Garden, Red Lobster, that type of thing, because Anheuser-Busch and whoever their distributor is, they're doing that kind of thing. But you still have every single thing else with this that needs to be done. All right, let me
give the link to figure that out as well too. But we want to make sure that we're cleaning just this picture well too. So that beer stone, it's a mineral. It lays down on the lines. It's a lot heavier than some of the other stuff, so it goes to the bottom, and then it gives a place.
Yeah, he explains the
things people walk by, they don't look at every day. I understand that,
right?
But the refrigeration, right? Again, we talked about this. The glycol unit, your walk-in beer cooler, your keg box. If they're not cold, they simply cannot work.
Yes, and then you're going to have warm beer. The beer is going to start foaming and frothing
to be able to do that. So most refrigeration is what's referred to as air-cooled So these condensers need to be cleaned. You can see that picture there with some dust and debris on that condenser there. Very, very common. Stop until they stop. If that antifreeze does wear out, I've seen it 100 times. The whole unit can actually freeze solid, and your beer system is down for the count here. Okay, so with that circulation pumps, we have these pumps.
Right. So you might go to a bar and they might say, sorry, all our beer is down. And it could be something just as simple as that, as the glycol needs to be replaced. Everything is frozen solid, you know, or even worse, that the condenser on that power pack is clogged up with lint. I see it a million times. And then that compressor is overheating, shutting off on high head. And now you have foaming, frothing beer. So, and that's a nice, easy one to get in there. And this is just a simple refrigeration system. It's just a simple compressor
that physically move this liquid throughout the system as well. They run 24/7 again. So are they running? They do fail. It's not if, but when these things are going to go, right? To do that. I always feel funny saying this, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But wear and tear items are going to take effect here to do that. So if we can do that, there's some O-rings that need to be lubricated.
The customer never wants you to do this until they can't get the damn until they can't get this damn thing off or can't get the damn thing on. And if they can't get this off, or if they can't get this on, they won't get beer out of the keg. So this allows the beer system to tap into the keg. I guess it is a beer tapper. And like they said, there's O-rings. This thing gets caked up with the sugars and stuff from the beer and the yeast.
Control the ease of the coupler being tapping and untapping. It was an hour meter on them as well. And so about 1,000 hours is average, depending on the type that you have. So either yearly or 1,000 hours, these filters need to be replaced as well. So depending if you own the unit or if you're leasing the unit, if you own it, I would highly recommend that you do these. But if you rent it, I would for sure get a hold of whoever you're leasing it from and have them get in there and change these filters. If the filters aren't proper, we're not going to get more than tripled the cost of, or paid for the cost of that cleaning, moving it from a monthly cycle to a 2-week cycle as well too. That's going to ensure the integrity of the product as well, encouraging resale, right?
So keep in mind, this is the actual manufacturer recommending to the end user, hey, look, you need to hire someone to have this service done. And it needs to be, the more often it's done, the more profitable you will be. So it isn't like maintenance, having PMs done is going to take money out of the customer's bottom line. They are showing for you, hey, look, you're going to make more money if this thing is properly maintained.
Do not want to have one and then not have another one because the beer is not right for whatever reason as well. And then doing that maintenance, that's certainly going to minimize the downtime and waste, resulting in profit as well too. Last thing real quick then, same study. Again, we're going backwards here, but by not having the proper line cleaning, the draft sales were down about 7% as well too. So that's a pretty big dollar amount there as well too. But my other thing though is if that glycol unit, right? They never seem to want to break on a Tuesday. They're always going Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, or whatever the case may be. But just lost revenue due to a failed glycol power pack. I just have some older numbers on there, but All
right. So enough of that. That is the beer, and that's the manufacturer suggesting to the end user, hey, look, you need to have this thing done. All right, so here we go. I've jumped over to Delafield. Let's see what Delafield has with any of their training. I do have some people that pay attention to my channel that are former Delafield people. Delafield and I don't see eye to eye. But if you go on, so they don't have another one. Let's see here. Let me go back. This just opened up a another one. Let's see here. Become a certified training technician. Interesting. So this is the person's information to contact on training for Delfield. Delfield is the top name brand in refrigeration, like True, like Charleston. There's Delfield. True, Charleston, Delfield, Victory. There's a very, very common name. And then why are they show? All right, so for the online seminars, you got Jeffrey Boakes. That's on-site training. You guys are going to need online training. All right, so let me take this guy's information. Let me put it in the chat. See Big Mike. Hey, it's Rich Maliki. What's happening? So this is the gentleman's information for Delfield. He can get you set up on their list so that you'll get notifications whenever they do have any of the online training that pops up. They're supposed to have this calendar populated. So that's September. Let's see. Oh, okay. All right, there we go. Now we're getting down to it. Let me see when this is. This is the live training. So this is Baltimore, Maryland, the people's favorite. Baltimore, Maryland. Let's see here. Okay, let's keep going. October. Oh, okay. So that is past. We're already October 21st. So November 20th is when you're going to have the training class on the controls. Like you guys see me deal with the controls on IG. Here we go. This is to handle the Delfield controls, which are the Corel and the Danfoss. Two not so favorites. Now, California, here we go. Do not travel for these classes. You wait till they come to a city near you. Well, at least pretty close, within an hour to 2 hours from you. I wouldn't travel any further than this. So it looks like Huntington Beach is the next in person. That's for Jason. And he's pretty much covering the whole thing. And so, yeah, you don't want to travel 4 hours just for a 4-hour freaking class. Because that's all it is. If you're new after the class, they quite possibly will take some time to explain a little more. If you email them, let them know you're going to attend the training class. And these, I do believe there are no fee on these. But when you go ahead and attend the training classes, let them know what level you're at. Then they can spend some more time with you and get you further acquainted with the equipment. So as you can see, it's once a month they're doing the online to let you guys know a little bit more about what they're doing. So let me see here. And this is exactly what you see on these videos. This is exactly what the class is about.
My name is Jason Partica. We're with Delfield Tech Support, and we'll be going over our GA control today. We'll get started talking about our GA control. So upon startup, the unit will
Fun fact, I love
you go to plug the unit in. There's typically about a 30-second delay before it comes into the home screen, and that's what you're seeing on the screen right here. So you'll plug it in. This control is not unlike a cell phone, a tablet, a computer. It's going to take a little bit of time for it to boot up, but after about 30 seconds or so, it'll bring up the home screen on here. If it says system off, you can press the little on-off icon there on the right-hand side of the screen, and that will start the unit up into a cooling cycle. One thing I did want to note on here, for the purpose of our conversation today, we're going to be talking about the refrigeration freezer application here. These are also available as a heated cabinet. So we're not really going to talk about that too much here. There's really a lot more features to the freezer cooler settings, or options, I should say. So we're just going to talk about that strictly here today. So upon startup, normally what happens is it'll flash the box temperature, usually for about 3 minutes or so, and then it'll go into a defrost cycle. The refrigerators will have the event day.
I'm glad he covered that it goes
as far as the
defrost. Most in-house maintenance guys, they don't know anything about it, and then they start freaking out, especially once if they have a power outage or they move the units from one spot to another and then they plug it up and it starts going into the defrost. They think that something is wrong with the unit. I've had a couple of calls like that.
Home screen itself, so typically it's going to show, it'll have the little Delfield logo at the top. It'll show the box temperature or defrost, whatever is happening at that particular time.
Anyway, I'm gonna skip around.
The password for this screen, so this is something that you'll definitely want to write down. This password will get you into basically all of the password protected functions of this screen. The password on that is 211276. So I'll leave this screen up for just a moment here so you can get a picture of it, write it down, whatever you're going to do there. But the keyboard itself, it has a button on the right hand side, the ABC 1 2 3 button. You can toggle between the passwords are all numbers, so there won't be any need to put in any sort of
all right, and he goes on and on like this, but this is the same thing
runtime and evaporator coil temperature.
This is the same thing.
Again, the settings on that will vary a bit depending on if it is a cooler or a freezer. The freezer will go into defrost until it hits either a 55-degree coil temperature or 35 minutes of actual time. The refrigerator, we're looking at 41-degree coil temperature or 75 minutes on the refrigerator. The evaporator fan motor for a freezer during defrost, it will not run during that defrost time, but then after the evaporator reaches -5 degrees or 2 minutes of actual time, then it'll start working after that defrost. So the condensing unit kicks in, your fan delay is at either 2 minutes or a -5 degree coil temperature. Defrost on these, we can have defrost just about every hour on it, depending on how much usage it's getting. We have a minimum defrost time of 2 minutes for a refrigerator, 6 minutes for a freezer, and then so if there's a low enough coil temperature that's picked up.
All right, so that's
if this unit, maybe the display or the control is set down quite low on there. It will kick it into defrost a lot more frequently there, especially if it's an area where they have a lot of door openings and things like that.
All right, let me see here. Let me show you.
As far as the time of day defrost, so this is something where you can actually set the defrost for a given time, up to 6 defrosts in a 24-hour period. So if you set it for the time of day.
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to show you this real quick. So this is what you're. Oh, hold on. 1 second. So this is what you're gonna get. because it's talking in the background. So this is what you're going to get when you finish each portion of this thing. There we go. 1 second. When you finish each portion, you're going to get damn, I think it's reversed. You're going to get a certificate. It's going to have your name on it. It's going to say, if you notice down here at the bottom, it says Delfield, all that good stuff. So that's what you're going to get once you finish with this kind of thing. And what I do is I put together, okay, so this one doesn't have any particular logo. So I put together a package for my clients, and it'll have typically what I service. I don't think, yeah, my camera's not reversed. So it'll have some of the things that I service that are directed at that particular client. So I have a number of them, and most of them will, I don't have them with me right now, but just so you know, I'll include different things like, the Manitowoc certificate in there. I'll include, if they have a Scotsman, like Tropical Smoothie has Scotsman, and they don't have the Cuber, they have the Nugget. So I'm not going to give them the Cuber. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know which one is this. This is one. Here's the other. They give you a certificate for each type of machine that Scotsman has. So now I present to the management. Once I get something to drink or a sandwich or something like that, I'll give them, okay, so this is Cuber. So this one says right here, it says Nugget. And then once again, my stuff isn't reversed. So when this line here says Nugget, this line here says Cuber. All Tropical Smoothies have a Nugget. Some of the older Firehouse subs, they had Scotsman before they went to Hoshizaki. So I would give them, say it's a Firehouse sub, I would give them one of these with the Firehouse sub logo. Then I would put like AJ Antunes, Scotsman, or Hoshizaki, or whatever other type of machine they had. Like I said, I would put down there AJ Antunes, that type of stuff, because that's what they have back there. True refrigeration. And that's the type of thing that you would give to the manager. You just don't give it to the young lady behind that's working the register. Your stuff is going to end up missing. Your stuff is definitely not going to make it where it needs to go. And then you sign up with different people like EcoTrack. And then you can actually show them and say, hey, look, I'm actually in the EcoTrack ecosystem. Once you're in EcoTrack, which there's zero cost for you to do, once you're in EcoTrack, any one of the companies that is running their facility management through the EcoTrack software will then have you in the system. They can only use someone that's in the system. So as you see here, so this was a call I got. It was a Stolting. It's EcoTrack. They give you time, date, all that kind of thing. They tell you, hey, look, we want you to come out within 24 hours, all that good stuff. You can accept or you can reject. And that's what these two things are right here. And what you're going to do is you will use one customer to then advance your business and acquire another. So I will take a Charlie cheesesteak and then take that information and then acquire a Tropical Smoothie, a Firehouse Subs, that type of thing. These clients are using pretty much the same type of equipment. I showed you Delfield just a little while ago, because Delfield is big in schools and universities, but they've gone from the number one supplier for Starbucks to now just being an option. So Delfield has dropped in importance with Starbucks. Ordinarily, you would have a problem providing service on Delfield. They have thrown that out the window when it comes to Starbucks. If you would like to provide service to a Starbucks and it is a Delafield, you must give them the model and serial number and make sure that the tech support agent knows that you're at a Starbucks. Each and every store, whether it's a tropical smoothie, a Starbucks, Firehouse Subs, there will be a store number somewhere in their paperwork that is posted on the food license, all that type of thing. It'll say store number, blah, 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 in fine print with the rest of the stuff whenever they open up their establishment. And those are the numbers that you want to use when you talk to the factory. Yeah, hi, I'm at Chipotle, store number 5,985. Once you tell them that, the world opens up for you. Everything will open up. And this applies to every single client that you're going to come across. Every large client, anyway, should I say. I am going to, you guys have been extremely quiet. I just wanted to show you this Delafield stuff. You can go to the in-person class. This way you can talk to the trainer. But everything that you're going to see is going to come from these videos right here. They started with these during COVID, or like I swear it was like right before, like a month before the lockdown. We had a lot of these. They were doing a lot of these type of videos. And I know I've done a lot of refrigeration, a lot of cold side. So let me show you some, because out of nowhere, these things were just popping up again. And I hadn't seen some of these videos in a long time. Clamshell grill. So let's go to, and we got a guy on Never Work on the Taylor. We got a guy on YouTube that he just loves these garland clamshell. Here we go. Hey, rah shish kum. Bah! Oh my God. But anyway, these are in your, what's that chicken place with like 101 ingredients in their chicken, and then like everybody's driving around the corner and in lines to get in there. Then they have these at McDonald's. Nobody knows, huh? Nobody's ever worked on one of these? You've never even seen one of these? Come on now. Anyway, so you got these suckers here. And just so you know, it's Chick-fil-A. It's Chick-fil-A. So these are in Chick-fil-A. These are in McDonald's. And they're putting them everywhere. Let me show you what they look like, what they do. I put them in universities. I put them in grammar schools. Olive Garden. It all depends, I guess, how old back here. Good. They're not gonna talk. I'm going to show you maybe a couple of the things, show you where the training is, and then we're gonna wrap this thing up. Just, you know, even with the bottom, and they put these on grills too, flat at the top, so they can retrofit older gas griddles with an electric flat. I have installed those as well. Yeah, perfect every time. So it's a fight right now between this type of cooking and running food through not a combi oven, but a steam oven, essentially a microwave with a metal press. So right now, the thing is, hey, look, if you got a griddle, you can retrofit your griddle. Really, if you like into smash burgers and stuff like that, look, you got this smash burger, chicken. This is easy, clean, rolled up. But they do require a lot of service. Uh-oh. You mean it's hard to hear? Oh. Yeah, it's going to be hard to hear because I'm actually not even using a mic. Hold on, let me take this music off. I am actually not even using a mic. That is part of the problem. I had to work home and make dinner. All right, hold on. Let's see here. All right, let me show you where the training is on this. This is Garland. This is the panini press. There are two different classifications of technician. One that can work on these press units when they're just a university, a school, and then you have the ones at McDonald's. You must be an in-house technician for McDonald's. All that means, let's see here what we got here. Let's find. Oh, I don't want the induction. Damn it. All that means, oh, come on. Garland, non-clamshell. We want the clamshell training. So here we go. So as you can see right here, they have it set up specifically mentioning McDonald's and non-McDonald's technicians. Yeah. I know it seems that way because all the steam and stuff kicks up. Is that why you hated cleaning it? Because it was just a hot, steamy, uncomfortable area to be in. So are these the same panini press? Yes, they are. McDonald's has a few requests that the manufacturers build in for them. And I have actually been able to take both training classes. So here's the registration for the Garland stuff. You fill that out. Make sure you guys can see it. Oh, hold on a second. So you kind of gotta let them know who you are. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can get to where we need to go to. Garland clamshell. Okay, this opens up that other player. I haven't installed this player on this machine. I had it on a previous one. Oh, the grease traps. Okay. I had it on a previous unit. Let me show you. Hold on. Let me Google my let's go with the videos. Clamshell. Don't give me none of that marketing jazz. You know what? Here's what I'll do. I'll do the YouTube because this is still up. The YouTube Garland clamshell. Oh, who was it? Eric or damn it? The trainer did he did like a 3-hour video. We did a full 3-hour video during the lockdown, during COVID. Oh, here we go. So let me see how long this is. Yeah, so this is a 3-hour freaking video. And
Custom Ink helps to celebrate and drive our students' achievements.
Everything.
custom gear. They love customing different
Yeah,
styles
yeah,
and designs.
yeah. Go through it. So they allowed us
chicken. Okay, so when you go into your menu selection, you're going to make sure you select faster PM left. That has your chicken recipe under it. That's the only menu that should be activated for that particular lane.
He goes
This way,
over
when the customer presses go,
in this video. He's
they
going to
go in.
over
They
how
can
you
only select one menu,
at the
and they will only ever cook chicken on that lane. Okay, they won't mix the hamburger over there. They won't mix the sausage over there. It'll be strictly a chicken lane. The middle lane will become your large and small meat, your 2 ounce of these grills. Behind this panel and this panel is a circuit breaker.
You got to use them.
It is a non-GFI circuit breaker. Okay, so we'll talk about GFI circuit breakers tripping in a store, what we're going to do to mitigate that situation.
No, there are.
You can see here we have a smaller amp cord and a larger amp cord. This one here goes to your 50 amp NEMA configuration, your 50 amp pin and sleeve, and it operates the middle and your left lane. The smaller one operates just the right lane. Your main power supply that comes into this unit comes off of the left and middle lane zone. So that would be your 50 amp. Also take a look, you get the warning symbols on the back, and you have these large yellow stickers. Whenever you're doing a PM on the grill, or you're doing a service call, authorized repair is anybody doing the repair that's not affiliated with a factory authorized service agency.
There you go.
That would be your unauthorized repair.
That would be you and me.
So let's talk about the Wendy's warranty.
So Wendy's, right.
Wendy's will get its standard 12-month parts and labor from the date of installation. A reactive call, classed as a machine down, requires work when you're done. It's part of it. If you happen to be an agency that doesn't cook and doesn't comes out through Garland, same thing that's going to happen with the Wendy's. Or it's going to come from the Regal system, which is a corporate system, electronically to the point of contact
like a crash test
at your organization. Let's say you're out there on a job working, let's say you're working on a Frymaster fryer at a Wendy's location.
Yes.
The manager asks you to check the grill.
Right.
You're there. You have no problem doing it. Just have the manager call into Garland to put a dispatch out. Now you have a dispatch out. Now you can turn around and you'll be able to get an event number when you're done. Your travel time is.
So if you're there and you are not, you have to have that manager call. You must give him your information, and then you're going to show them. You're going to tell them that you have the current information that is. Hold on one second. Let me get this off the screen, and let me show you this. Right, so you're gonna have oh, my bad. What? There it is. So you're gonna have so this is my Garland clamshell grill certification, saying that I can do work. Well, I have been trained on the equipment at, what is this one? Chick-fil-A? At Chick-fil-A. So once again, this is your selling point. This is your marketing tool. You would then complete these classes. You would then go and speak to the owner of Chick-fil-A or the manager of Chick-fil-A after you order something. And then you're going to hit them with your package. Let them know, hey, look, pause on the package part, but you're gonna hit them with your marketing material. You're gonna say, hey, look, I'm trained on your ice machines, whether it's the Follett or the Hoshizaki. I'm trained on your Garland clamshell grill. I'm trained on your dishwasher. I've shown you where you get the training for that for Chick-fil-A. That is your not Continental, it is Champion. That's your Champion dishwasher. The fryers, some of those are Henny Penny. I've shown you. You take all that stuff and you provide it to the you provide it to the managers. And then when they do have something where it is an issue and you are out there on site, you must have them call, you must have them mention who you are and that you have certification. You can send your certification over, your information is verifiable. They have the serial number from your class, which in turn has your test, which says that you are good to go. It says when you took the class and the whole nine. So hate to do that whole long roundabout thing, but it is what it is. So yeah, that is pretty much what I do.
Nothing, because you're already there. Your 4-hour response time is whatever's in that UI for languages is all that's ever going to be. They're not putting any more in there.
So now you're able to,
and of course, your
these units. I mean, you're
highly recommend
get the access codes.
And if you follow through this, it shows you how to create new recipes.
We don't want to.
Now, granted, this is an older video, so I don't have a bunch of menus in here. Number E and then a number after it. That represents your alarm or your error.
So if you go through this whole video, yeah, they show you how to go into the system, what access code to put in. Unlike with Taylor, because Taylor ain't giving you jack. You ain't getting that with Taylor. So you're going to want to gravitate more to Garland, Imperial, and the like with their clamshell grills versus F and Taylor. All right, F Taylor.
As you can see here, E30. Well, I'm not looking at my list. I know we've told you you have to update data life tracking when you replace a component. I'm going to tell you, get into the habit of always updating data life tracking on any of these grills. Now, from the bottom of the grill.
Thinking about going solar, but not sure whether it's worth it for your home? Well,
during your initial setup of your clamshell grill, be sure the cooking surface is 36 inches from the floor. However, in nature, they all operate the same way. They all have a relay to disrupt the power to the actuator itself. Depending on the position of the platen as it's coming down and reading the encoder counts off the actuator motor. And when if you're coming down, it's extending a pin and it's looking for an overamp of 2 amps on that little motor in the arm. And then it will turn around and change state of this relay to allow the platen to move down to the desired gap of that product that's cooking. Basically, when it's done cooking, it's going to use the encoder counts to when it comes up to reach the correct encoder count. With the pin removed, you can see the bracket assembly and the micro. So it's simply plastic and it is fragile. All you need to do is finger tight with the screwdriver. And you see it get full of grease.
So as you can see,
grease will affect the way the switch power coming up to the switch comes from the
3-hour video. This 3-hour video covers what you need to know.
50 amp circuit.
You just will not get any credit for this. So back when this thing was first launched, we got credit for going through the 3-hour class, and then he later released this on YouTube. But he goes over all the components, every single thing. You're going to know what you need to know about these units. And it's okay to go out in the field and call. But once you know where these things are, and then use your meter, that is what they're really looking for. When they want to say, hey, look, go and test the platen thermocouples. I need you to go to the platen thermocouples and tell me what the readings are. They don't want a guy to go, what's a thermocouple? Where do I find the platen thermocouples? They don't want that. It's time is money, and they want you to be up to speed. At least then, and see here, there's some of the codes and things like that.
And then your hood height calibration bases the reference point that you built in the platen calibration to adjust for the hood height calibration. So they got to be done in this order. Again, if you're just doing replacement piece, like if you're just replacing an actuator, do I actually have to do my thermocouple calibration? Technically, no, but you got to make sure that grill's up and heated up thoroughly. From there, you're going to see temperature status. You'll see.
So everything comes up on the screen.
So make sure you offset degree, competitors,
These
chain
tools. Now these are the special tools.
Again, if you're going to use this tool, make sure you use the correct terminology in the Wendy's store. It's called a green ball gauge, not a go no go McDonald's tool. Okay. These are also available on PartsDown. These are just a cut and paste of each part that's on there as well. Okay, and that green end is 400 mils. So I call it a green ball gauge.
So this is if they lose it, you can order it. This is if you don't find it on the equipment. These tools are on the equipment. If you can't find it, then these are the part numbers that you can use to order it from God Awful Parts Town. But you can order it from God Awful Parts Town.
So we like to use the 400 mil tool. I prefer that because I'm checking at 3 locations instead of the 4 corners. So I'm going to type in 400, enter calibration. We're increasing that downward slope tremendously.
There's your
AC motor, your AC board.
So you can get schematics even if you don't see them out there when you're on the out in the field. You can get them. You can download them beforehand. You can call tech support. They can send them to you. It's not a big deal.
Your micro switch is in the arm. And closes that, and I should have power down to my control contact. Again, that's why and you're only using 50 pound torque on this. It will loosen.
There's no special code.
The user interface communication cable from the SIB right off the SIB board. Software upload. You pop that out, pop it. 5th and 6th lane. So if either one of them overheats to 500 degrees, this will activate. It will remove the coil in the contactor. And at that point there, it will remove the 3-phase power to my solid state relays. There's no board in here, relays, and to the other leg of power to my elements. Okay. So again, if you've been around, voltage control over high voltage outputs to the elements. Okay. Same thing as a solid state relay board, with the exception we're using relays now. Always look out for those tabs. Make in.
It's pretty much.
And at that point, you did.
Uh-oh.
And from here, this is your settings icon. Okay. Some of the stuff that's under these settings menu, thermocouple is checking software, checking communications.
Oh,
don't think it's not doing it's checking for the platen to be in the up position because there is no platen.
Now,
so once it initializes, it gives you a software version, etc. And at that point, there is going to go to the home.
Now there is you can get the whole manual, and that is free of charge. Hold on 1 second. Let me just show you what these are and the cost of them. So you're looking, $45,000. That's before delivery, install, the whole 9. This is not an inexpensive unit. Like he said, Wendy's has it. Wendy's, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A. Well, you saw for me, Chick-fil-A has them. So it's nothing to play with. You can make some good money. And if you are someone who is well-versed on multiple pieces of equipment in a particular store, the likelihood of them calling you jumps up dramatically versus someone who just says that they work on the stuff. They kind of look at you and go, yeah, all right. And then they move along, So getting the certificates, I mentioned it before, the certificates aren't worth anything. There are no value. There's no like monetary value to them. You can't demand more money because you have them. That's not going to get you more money because you have a certificate. But what it will give you is it'll at least let that client or potential client know, hey, look, this guy, at least he's heard of the damn unit before, and he can actually get on the phone with these people because he's actually been to a class. Hold on. Let me show you. Hold on. Let me see here. Let me show you the manual. Resources download. When you go here to download, now this is free for everyone. This is Garland. Select the product. And let's see what we got. Garland. Let's see here. We want the 3. All documents. Let's go. Now, reset search. Wait a minute. What happened to the training book? Oh, this is Dirty Pool. Oh, no. This is Dirty Pool. What did they do? Hold on a second. This is Dirty Pool. Hold on a second. Let me go to the Garland services. We're going to go to services. Hold on a second. Oh, service. Let's see. Because every manual is supposed to be here. Hold on one second. Training videos, services. Where are the manuals? Document finder. Yeah, this is where I was before. Hold on a second. If you guys are having a hard time finding the manual, let me know. I actually have the freaking manual. All documents. There we go. There we go. We don't want the video. Here's the service manual. And now let me see what I get. I can't believe this. They took this from you guys. They took this. Every manual used to be available. Oh, I can't believe this. They took the Garland manuals. Let me go and look at another unit. And let's see what pops up. Oh, they did this. Oh, they did this for all the Garlands. Ooh. All right, let me do this. Let's see here. Garland. Let's see what we can find out here. SPM and certification. Oh, they've taken everything. What the hell's this grill portal? Oh, I don't want to download. I don't know if you guys can see this. Garland had every single one of their manuals available for you to look at. Every single, I have a 30, 40 page manual on the Garland clamshell. Huh. There it is right there. So this is the one for McDonald's. This is the old one. So as you can see here, it was out there in the world. And so, yeah, Mad Lib has it. And so they have the other manuals. So the manuals are still out there with third parties. There's the Pocket. Here's your Polly Pocket type stuff. And we don't want that. We want the full service manual. And it's a lot. See, these all say 4 pages. It is like this one. This is 36 pages, 36 pages, 28. Yeah, I had one that was like around 36 or so pages, maybe more. I don't know what the hell this thing is. This thing is old. So this is the older one. So the manuals are still out there, but they're just not out there on the Garland site unless you are authorized. I can try and log in, but I already got the manual anyway. I already had the manual anyway. Okay, so it looks like you guys are going to have to do this the hard way. You're going to have to watch the videos. You're going to have to sign up. So you're going to have to go to Garland. You're going to have to go to the Garland website. And it's all the well-built stuff. It is all well-built. So I'm going to wrap this thing up. This is a little disappointing. They went and they snatched this thing. Garland is under new ownership. As you can see here, it says well built, and then under well built, it says an Ollie Group company. So Ollie bought well built. They kept everything except for Manitowoc. Manitowoc got spun off, and Manitowoc has different ownership. It is possible that you can call them and that they would send you the actual manual. I don't have it in PDF. I actually have a manual that I hold in my hand. I don't see anything in the distance in the room I'm in. I'm sorry. I just so happened to tumble down this rabbit hole, and ordinarily you're able to get this kind of stuff, and they are making this difficult. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about the bad news. As far as I know of, the other stuff from Well Built and Ollie Group is still available. It's still online. But it looks like they are really, really protecting this. They're really protecting this information. Oh, real quick before we wrap this thing up, let me show you. I have a Facebook group. I have people asking about Facebook. I used to broadcast on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, and YouTube. So now I only broadcast on Instagram and YouTube. This is the QR code that will take you to my Facebook page. And then from there, you can do whatever it is that you would like to do on Facebook. I'm a lot more interactive on Instagram, which there are, people watching me on Instagram at this moment. Sorry about the yawn. So this is my information for Instagram. The Instagram is where I do on location type of things because YouTube is really restrictive. If you'd like to contribute to the channel, that's the QR code for PayPal. It's the QR code for Cash App. If you'd like to contribute to the channel, if you'd like to send by Zelle, that's the Zelle information. So Zelle, PayPal, Cash App. I don't have Venmo. Sorry about that. Let's see here. I'll change that one at the top to the PayPal. So I would like to thank all the contributors to the channel. That was, as always, Brother Frank Evans. Thank you so much for contributing to the channel. Michael Adams, Mel, Najee, Richard R. Brown, CD, E. Smith Appliance Repair, Darius, Samuel, and Melissa. Thank you all very much for contributing to the channel. Any questions before we wrap this thing up? Anything you guys would like me to address, or different training events you would like me to look into? Thursday, I will come on in the evening. It's after 7 p.m. It depends on when Mike Sneed comes on and goes off on his channel. It'll typically closer to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Oh, let's see here. Hold on. We have, what is the laundry? One second here. Commercial laundry. So all of you that's interested in commercial laundry, we have, that's right. We have Laundry Lux. We have Dexter. All right, hold on 1 second. Laundry Lux class. So now that the weather is cooler, now's the time when the classes are kicking up. It's typically every month. Let's see here. If you do not see your date for the laundry class, do not hesitate to call. Here is the 1-800 number to speak to the people at Laundry Lux. Let me give you Dexter. Dexter just had a class for, oh, wow. Dexter just had a class for, damn, I'm the only one that comes up. Look at this. All this is me. Well, that's Dexter. Me, Dexter. Oh, there's the homepage. So don't hesitate to drop a line. You can hit me up on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, any one of those. And what is this? October. Okay, so that just passed. Today's the 21st, so that was class today. So tomorrow in Morgantown, Pennsylvania, you got a Dexter training event. So Dexter has a new display that's either out or coming out, and so they're going over that new display in this training class, the benefits and all the things that it does. So in November, South Carolina. So SLM Fall Show. Then in Marietta, Georgia, that's November 14th. Southeastern Laundry. And then, of course, we're going to have, especially more with the laundry from there. You will have, hold on, Speed Queen, Commercial Laundry Events 2024. So all the Speed Queen events are underway. They started about last month. Yeah, Unimac stuff. I'm not a big fan of Unimac. So here we go. This is the one for Chicago. Okay, so that is coming up. Wednesday, October 23rd, Elk Grove Village, $25. And they're going to give you lunch. Keep your lunch. So they're going to go over Unimac. Okay, so they're really going to focus on Unimac at this class. I doubt if my sister would want to go. Oh, I have to send this. I have to send this to her. For all of you all that are interested in laundry. Oh, Brother Charles. Yeah, I'm wrapping it up, Brother Charles. I am wrapping it up. giving the people some of the information on laundry. Because this is a quiet brunch, Brother Charles. They are extremely quiet. So for me to find out what they're actually into, it's like pulling teeth. So I explained this to you all before. Speed Queen, Unimac, and Hipsch, which is the lime green and the stainless steel. All that is Speed Queen. So this is the Unimac is a slightly different design, but the Hipsch and the Speed Queen is one and the same. You can even see it from the picture here. Look at the placement on the screws. Look at the placement on the screws. Look at the placement on the door handle. Look at the style of the wash drum. It's all the same. All the components are the same. Everything is the same machine. And matter of fact, that's what they got in the back right here. It's all the same. Same company. Okay, so here's how you can subscribe to the laundry schools. So they can hit you up. And they have seminars. So Speed Queen, from time to time, will have online seminars. The tech guys they actually love to do them. They have these question sections, and they go over not just your exam questions, but on a whole. So they're able to see some of the answers. They don't have, at least they tell us it's not tied to us, but they'll go over what some of the people are answering, and they gauge how they're given the seminar based on how people answer. So you got that. That's the information on Speed Queen. So you got Speed Queen, you got Dexter, Laundry Lux, all of this stuff. And then there are some other commercial laundry units out there. If you guys let me know what you're into, we can go ahead and jump on into that. Oh yeah, this is the one. This is the Unimac one. All right, so that's the only one I've seen so far. But that's about it. Oh wait, we got a question here. All right, so CEO Jakes, are basic entry-level fryers all millivolt like Frymaster? Yes. Basic entry-level fryers are, and if they're gas, they're going to be millivolt. There are basic entry-level electric fryers. Gas fryer valve. I don't know why I did that. So these are the valves that your thermal pile goes to. This style right here, and you see here, it says millivolt propane combination valve. Oh, I was going to say this one's been phased out. This valve here has been phased out. They are now going only with the Harper Wyman. So you're only going to see ones like this with the Robert Shaw, Harper Wyman. You're not going to see the other style anymore. So let me show you the gas fryer thermocouple. Right, so this is the thermocouple, not that one, but these are the thermocouples that stick into the flame knot. Well, this is for more or less like a henny penny type of fryer. These are the ones that go. Let me show you there. Gas fryer Pitco thermocouple. And once again, when it comes to fryers, go to the online section of that manufacturer, Pitco, Frymaster. There are 1,000,001 videos. CEO Jakes, let me show you. Have you been to the Pitco site? Let me show you the Pitco one. Hold on. Let me show you Pitco. Pitco they have decided to do strictly videos. So they have everything with videos. Let's see here. Resources and training guides. So you got training guides and you got the videos. Here are your training guides with the Pitco. Like I said, it is a very simple search, and it starts with going to the manufacturer's website. So here's the guide with the rollout switch on the Pitco. Oh, good one. High limit. Here we go. So how to reset the high limit? It is just a simple push of the button. Doesn't get any easier than this. Big ass orange button, big ass sign saying, hey, push here. Now, you're going to, if you push that orange button and you hear a click, that means the high limit was tripped. If you push it and it's a little spongy, it might not have been tripped. And if you push it and it's not really spongy, not really responsive, it might actually have damage. It might have some damage to it. This shows you in proximity where it is. Now, this is not a millivolt fryer, but it still has a high limit to it. This one has a control board in the section up above the picture that you cannot see, but they all have a high limit. And the high limit is just what it says. Once the gas has reached such a high limit that it can catch fire, this switch will then trigger, and it will shut down the fryer. So this is a PDF that you can have with you. You can show when you do training classes, that type of thing. So what do you mean no? What do you mean no? All right, so CEO Jake says no. No to what? No to drugs? What are you saying no to? What are you saying no to? More high limits. They're adding more of the electronic stuff on there now. I have not been to the site to see this stuff. Ooh. The federal government is making everyone put these digital displays. The days of having these old school controls, your beloved precious millivolt fryer, the days are coming to an end. The federal government says it's inefficient and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And so they are making the manufacturers update these pieces of equipment. Throw in the fact that the Chinese have just dumped so much cheap stuff. Oh, okay. So CEO Jake said, did you go to the Pitco? Right. So you're going to want to always go. You go to the FryMaster site. You go to the Pitco site. Now let me go back to Pitco and let me show you in the videos. All right. So resources, videos. Here is the video section where it's not just how to use it, but more than likely they're going to have the tech videos in here. So this just shows you the electric fryer real quick. If the damn thing is going to populate. If this thing is populating. Sorry. The thing isn't populating. Let me go back. Sorry, it's not populating. So this is Pitco. But Pitco is the one that's in your Five Guys, stuff like that. So Pitco now owns Ultra Fryer. They own the Nets. And then there's a couple others. I don't know why they're not showing it, but here's the video library. And okay, so we want tech service videos. So here we go. tech service videos, this is the most that they're willing to do. They're not the most accommodating of manufacturers. And most of their stuff, okay, so most of their stuff, if not all of it, this is all the computer controlled fryers. And as you can see, this stuff is not working right now. Their stuff is not working, but here's where you go to. The same videos are on YouTube. Let me show you. Training video. So all of these Pitco videos are here. Yeah, this is an old one. Oh, excuse me. This is an old one. Let me dial this sound back. I am a user. I'm a member of Supply. What is this? Supplyhouse.com? Yeah, supplyhouse.com. Oh, sure, no problem. So supplyhouse.com gives me different parts. Here's your fryer.
Hello and welcome to this demonstrational video on filtering with Pitco and a face mask.
Filtering is something that the employees never
into the filter pan, making
so
sure
it
that
is
the
right
support
here.
rod for the nozzle points towards the front of the unit.
Channel on YouTube. So here's where you can go in, and this is where they show you how to. Oh, damn! Let me go back. So as you can see, these videos are here.
Fryer systems, thermostat and high limit, as well as
go over the millivolt stuff. And there are a ton of videos that teach you how to test. There are a ton of videos that teach you how to test.
On a millivolt gas valve, the tap to check the incoming gas pressures is on the bottom of the gas valve. Use the yellow gas shutoff valve to turn the gas off to the gas valve. Remove the cover screw on the bottom corner of the gas and 11 to 13 inches water column for LP. Complete, turn the gas supply off, remove manometer fittings, and reinstall the screw cap. And you can now manifold pressure should be 4 inches water column for natural and 10 inches water column for LP. If manifold pressure adjustments are needed, use the adjustment screw on the gas valve to adjust manifold pressures up or down as required. Turning the adjustment screw counterclockwise lowers the gas pressure. Once proper adjustments are made to the gas pressure for the manifold, replace adjustment screw cap, remove your manometer, and replace the fitting tapped into the gas manifold, making sure that it is properly sealed so it does not leak gas. E2 on the gas valve. To check for proper resistance of the main valve coil, apply your meter leads to TH1 and PP1 on the gas valve. If the main valve checks good, you should see approximately 2 ohms during this test. To check the resistance of the pilot valve, you must first remove the blue wire from terminal TH2 on the gas valve. With the blue wire removed, apply your meter to terminals TH2 and PP1 in order to check the resistance of the pilot valve.
Now this applies to Fry Master.
The proper reading should be approximately 10.5 ohms.
Sierra.
To make adjustments to your pilot, you must first remove the pilot adjustment screw.
This applies to
Once the screw cover has been removed, you will notice there is a small flat blade adjustment screw inside. Rotating this screw counterclockwise will increase your pilot, while clockwise will decrease your pilot.
You're going to have to do this.
You will need to make these pilot adjustments in order to get the proper millivolt output from your thermal pile. Proper thermal pile output with only the pilot on should be approximately 600 millivolts plus or minus 50. Once the burners ignite, your millivolt output should drop approximately in half. To check the output of your thermopile, attach your meter leads to terminals PP1 and PP2 on the gas valve. As you can see, while you already have your leads in a proper position for checking millivolts, turn the burner on and make sure that you get the proper millivolt drop. With the burners on, your millivolt output should drop approximately in half. When the burners are turned off, the millivolt output returns back to approximately the 600 millivolt range. We will now review how to check thermostat and the high limit for proper operation.
All right, well, you get the idea.
To gain access.
All right, you get the idea. All the stuff is there. Hold on, now I got this thing still playing. All right. So you get the idea. I'd like to thank you for hanging out with me this evening. Please provide your information in the comment section on the video. Any one of the videos that you've already watched, and we can address those at a later date and time on the next video. But I hope you enjoyed the information on where to get the videos on how to clean the machines. Each one of the machines are cleaned slightly different than the next one. This information on how to operate these different fryers, griddles, grills, where they're located, information on your marketing material, and the importance of attending these classes, whether they're in person or virtual. You want to make sure you get some kind of documentation, some kind of certificate from the manufacturer, some kind of way. So this is from Jackson. My stuff is all backwards. It's from Jackson dishwasher, so I can deal with anyone and say, hey, look, you have a Jackson. I service Jackson. I can take care of you. You can go to any customer that has ultra fryer. Say, hey, yeah, you have ultra fryer. I've been trained on ultra fryer. I can take care of you. So I try to do my best to take care of all the equipment that these people have. And then I did different things like front and back. So, hey, look, I'm trained on Follett. I can take care of your Follett. What is this? It's a Follett. This is the whole line. And then the other ones say, hey, look, I take care of your descaling. I've done different things with the descaling and whatnot. So once you present this to a potential customer, you're no different than a Safesa company. Why is a Safesa company held in such high esteem? The Safesa company is a company that trains each and every one of their techs. They don't just train one guy and then have the other guys learn. No, each and every one of their techs goes to class. So this way, when they go out, they stand a fighting chance. This way, when they go out, they know the terminology. Just like we saw the video on the clamshell grills for McDonald's and Wendy's. Same grill, different terminology on the tools and the components. So Wendy's is like, hey, damn it, don't call this, don't call this go and stop. We want you to call this that other name, he said. So, and they are very particular about that kind of thing. So here, here's another one I had with Garland. So I got several Garland training certification, and then I will always include different dispatches. So this is dispatches I had from Continental Refrigeration, showing them, hey, look, I do work for your competitors. There's no reason why I shouldn't do work for you. And then just so you guys know, like the Micromatic you saw in the beginning, a whole 2 hour and 24 minutes ago. I work on Micromatic. So here's information I've had with Micromatic, and I go ahead and print out my dispatches, put their information on it. So it's got all my stuff. Plus, hey, look, I am so well versed with the product that the manufacturer is sending me out to take care of their equipment. So they're not sending me out to take care of yours, but they have sent me out to take care of your competitors' equipment. And so those are some things that you want to present to your potential clients. Can't show you, and then I do certain things. I'm gonna cover up my account number, but like I show people, hey, look, and this isn't Electrolux residential. This is Electrolux commercial. So say, hey, look, I'm all set up with Electrolux commercial, and this is for like their I'm with all the lines, but this was actually for Unique. It's backwards, which is their espresso machines. Oh, and it does say professional down at the bottom. So I'm set up with Electrolux Professional. I'm sorry, it's backwards. But and this is just one of the few folders that I have. I normally have potential clients already set up. So if there's a client I'm eyeing or facilities I'm going past, I will automatically put my binder together for that particular customer. So if I know they have a Garland clamshell grill, I'll put that in there. If I know that they have a Magic Kitchen product, I'll put in my Magic Kitchen information. I even have, or like I'll include the warranty sheet for Howard McRae or Nera Group, that type of stuff. Say, yes, I am an authorized service provider for Howard McRae. If there is an issue, I am authorized to take care of it. I will call the factory. And if they don't want me to do it, they want somebody else to do it, then so be it. But, I just include different things. So, oh, yeah, this was a cold pack. So I'll include different dispatches. Sometimes I'll take out a client's phone number or that type of thing. Or sometimes I'll take out their last name. I'll redact it. But this is what you're going to show them. Say, yeah, I know how to work on cold pack. I worked on cold pack for cold pack. Cold pack had me go out and do that stuff. And you don't give them everyone. You just send one. And when I have my choice, I will, just like this Perlick. So if I'm doing a hotel, I will actually give them a dispatch from another hotel. So this was like a Courtyard Marriott. And so I will include a dispatch on a Perlick. Now, it doesn't come with the little decals, the little pictures and stuff like that. I'll include that. But this said that this was Courtyard, Houston Heights. And here's all the information. And then if they did know the other manager or any of that other stuff, all that information, they have it. So I present this kind of stuff to Courtyard Marriott. I show them that, yes, I work on their beer coolers, their bar backs. They've actually used me before when the stuff was under warranty. So like I mentioned to you before, I'll give them another dispatch from Red Lobster. And it says, hey, look, I worked at Red Lobster store number 841. And matter of fact, Charles, this is the one where I think I was over there by your house on Northwest Freeway. That isn't there anymore. But you show them just different ones, different Perlicks and things like that nature. So that's what you want to do. You want to go and get this training under your belt. Take the certification because they would much rather hire someone who has certification than someone who does not. Remember, they are not concerned about the lowest price. They don't want to hear about you could do it cheaper than somebody else. They have the money to pay. They just want it fixed, and they want it fixed right. They don't want the equipment rigged up. And if you have been to any manufacturer-sponsored training, then you have an idea of how it should be properly maintained and repaired. And with that, I hope you got something out of this 2.5 hour broadcast. I wish you all the best of luck out there trying to get into the commercial field. Training is first. Then you want to, when you get that training under your belt, you want to go out there and and get some potential clients. So I'll see you guys on Thursday. And with that, please like, share, and subscribe. It would be much appreciated. I'm trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers.
We are same, but different, but still same.